I'm going to go through a quick warm-up drill. Okay, so all this is to get everyone warmed up at the beginning of the class. So we want to warm up our shoulders, we want to warm up our arms. Okay, so when you're doing this, you haven't got to do this first of all. Okay, but once you worked on your female and male triangles, what we've done in other videos, instructors should know. So I'm just going to go diagonal strike. So this is strike 1, this is strike 2. So these are our angles that we should have learned when we've done our blade and our some of us would have done our scrimmer sticks before. So angle 1, angle 2. So this is all we're doing first of all. Angle 1, angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. Okay, so once again, this is just warming up. Okay, angle 1, angle 2. Now what I'm going to do as I come back from here, okay, as I come for doing my angle 1, I'm going to change hands coming through. So I let go of my lower fingers here. My finger and thumb slide up, grab, okay, and finish the strike. So it's like this, okay. Remember when I'm doing this, I'm trying to run this across the target in front of me. I'm not holding it out like this. You see a lot of students, they do this. When they've got their sticks, they do this, okay. So it's all slicing. Obviously don't use that term, but I'm slicing. I'm running this across the object in front of me. So I'm doing the same thing. When I come towards my opposite hand, I want to pass it over. As I cut, I open the bottom fingers, slide up and grab. Once they get better at this, we want footwork. Okay, so my female triangle. So step back, step up, step back, step up. Okay, we should have done this before. So from here, remember the weapon wants to be out in front of me. They've got to get past the weapon to get to me. So I go like this, I change my footwork. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want to cut my foot. So here, or my leg, or my thigh, depending on how big the weapon is. If it's an impact weapon like a stick, I don't want to hit my leg. So as I'm doing this, as the angle 1 comes down to the opposite hand and I want to change hands, I open the fingers at the bottom of my hand, come down and change sides. The reason we do this is because we want to be proficient with both arms. We don't want to just be good with one arm, one hand, one leg. Okay, we want to be able to do it off both sides, just in case we injure that arm. Okay, let's say if we was in a situation you're using a sword and this arm gets cut, I can't use that no more. So I want to be able to put in this hand now, protect this other arm. Okay, so when we come down, open the fingers at the bottom, change hands. Okay, so remember this is just a warm-up drill, but as we're doing this, we want to get them used to their footwork and that as well. So remember, to start this off, my feet can be still. I'm just doing angle 1, angle 2. Okay, change. So first of all, they're going to be doing big circles, okay, for the warm-up. But then remember, like you've done your blade training, the target is not this big. No target really hitting is this big. So realistically, I'm just going to be going over the target, okay, the target area, which is going to be about this big. Unless you're Mr. Howes, and it'll be about this big. Okay, so that's your first warm-up drill. Now what we're going to do is do it with 2 hands. Okay, when you are using a Bokken, okay, or a blade, what you do is push-pull. So the top hand is going to push, and the bottom hand is going to pull. So this, okay, is pushing. You see the bottom is coming towards me. To add power to this, I'm going to pull. So this hand, I'm going to keep it as it is for now, and I pull like this. So this hand is pushing, this hand is pulling. Okay, so next part we'll do is from here. Remember, this is just a warm-up drill. From here, okay, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. So when we're doing this, we're warming up our arms and we're warming up our shoulders. So push and pull. My diagonal strikes. Okay, just pushing and pulling. Now, footwork, push and pull, push and pull. Remember when you're doing this, okay, their sword is going to be slightly longer, okay, so they don't want to get too close to each other. When they're doing this, the person behind, smack, okay, so make sure we've got enough room when we're doing this. You can do, when you're doing it, okay, if they've all got Bokkens and they can't do it at the same time, You get one person to stand now and the other person's aiming. So they're aiming at the other person. So when you're doing this, you cut down on numbers. Okay, so they're not all doing it at the same time. So if you've not got enough room, you've got all the Bokkens flying around, what you can do is get them to work in twos. One person will stand now while the other one practices. They've got enough room in between them and they're aiming for the target. So obviously when you're doing your diagonal strikes, you're coming from the shoulder down to the hip. Shoulder down to the hip. Okay? So I'm going to give you one more from this warm up and then we'll move on. So when you're doing this now, okay, we've done our diagonal strikes, okay? This can also be called a figure eight. So this is a downward figure eight. So I'm drawing my figure eight, okay? So this is my figure eight. I'm now going to do my upward figure eight, okay? So I'm now using different set of tendons and a different set of muscles, okay? Because now you're using more of your tricep as you bring this up. Before you was using your bicep, bringing it down. So now I'm doing my upward figure eight, okay? So upward figure eight. Once you get good at this, okay, we're going to put our footwork into it. This can get quite confusing, first of all, when they're doing this, because it's not an easy angle to strike at, and then they've got to worry about their feet. So once we're doing this, okay, remember the change. So as I come up here, I'm going to open my fingers at the bottom, come up and change grip, okay? Footwork. Got to be careful, I keep feeling like I'm going to hit my dummy, okay? So imagine why I'm using a smaller sword now. So what we've done so far is we've done your diagonal strikes, okay, getting warmed up, using the footwork. We then changed hands during that, okay? You can then add your footwork in. You can then do your upward, okay, figure eight. So don't make it the figure eight first of all, just get them, because sometimes just by explaining the figure eight, they try and do this, okay? So just get them angle one, angle two first of all, okay? Don't try and rush it. Some people will pick it up really, really quickly. Some people will really, really struggle, okay? So that's just a couple of warm-up drills to get you started with your Bokken class.